The propaganda machine of World War II, shaping perceptions and mobilizing nations. 1. Introduction. Weaponizing information. World War II witnessed an unprecedented use of propaganda by the major powers involved. Propaganda became a powerful tool for shaping public opinion, garnering support, and influencing the narrative of the war. 2. Objectives of propaganda. Building morale. One of the primary goals of wartime propaganda was to boost morale among civilians and military personnel. Positive and uplifting messages aimed to maintain a sense of national unity and resilience. Demonizing the enemy. Propaganda sought to dehumanize and vilify the enemy, portraying them as a threat to civilization. This tactic aimed to generate fear and hatred, strengthening the resolve of the home front. 3. Media platforms. Print media. Newspapers, magazines, and posters were essential mediums for disseminating propaganda. Striking visuals and catchy slogans were used to convey messages quickly and effectively. Radio broadcasts. Radio played a crucial role in reaching a wide audience. Governments utilized radio broadcasts for news, speeches, and entertainment infused with propaganda messages. Film and cartoons. Propaganda extended to the film industry, with governments producing films that conveyed patriotic messages, glorified military efforts, and reinforced nationalistic sentiments. Animated cartoons also became a popular and effective means of conveying propaganda messages. 4. Allies propaganda. British propaganda. The British government, through agencies like the Ministry of Information, employed propaganda to boost civilian morale during the Blitz. Iconic posters, such as "Keep Calm and Carry On," became symbols of resilience. American propaganda. The United States, before entering the war, utilized propaganda to garner support for the war effort. Posters, films, and campaigns portrayed the Axis powers as threats to democracy and freedom. 5. Axis powers propaganda. Nazi propaganda. The Nazi regime under Joseph Goebbels masterfully used propaganda to control information and manipulate public perception. Films, rallies, and speeches promoted Nazi ideology and anti-Semitic sentiments. Japanese propaganda. Japan employed propaganda to portray itself as a liberator of Asia from Western colonialism. Films and posters conveyed a message of a Greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere. 6. Recruitment and patriotism. Enlistment campaigns. Propaganda played a crucial role in recruiting soldiers. Posters and advertisements appealed to a sense of duty, patriotism, and the honor of serving one's country. War bond drives. Governments used propaganda to encourage citizens to invest in war bonds, portraying it as a patriotic duty to financially support the war effort. 7. Censorship and control. Information control. Governments exercised strict control over information to manage public perception. Censorship was employed to suppress unfavorable news and promote a narrative conducive to the war effort. Securing cooperation. Media outlets and entertainment industries were often coerced or willingly cooperated with government directives to align their content with the official wartime narrative. 8. Propaganda themes. Fear and patriotism. Propaganda often played on fear, emphasizing the potential threat of the enemy, while simultaneously fostering a sense of national pride and patriotism. Scapegoating and stereotypes. Propaganda frequently relied on scapegoating, portraying certain groups as the enemy within. Ethnic and racial stereotypes were exploited to generate animosity and justify wartime measures. 9. Psychological warfare. Subversion and demoralization. Psychological warfare aimed to demoralize the enemy by spreading disinformation and sowing seeds of doubt among their civilian population and military ranks. Leaflet drops and radio broadcasts. Allied forces conducted leaflet drops over Axis territories, urging surrender or disseminating information to create dissent. Radio broadcasts targeted enemy soldiers with messages aimed at undermining morale. 10. Post-war impact. Legacy of propaganda. The wartime propaganda machine left a lasting impact on post-war societies. The portrayal of wartime events and the shaping of historical narratives continued to influence public memory and perceptions. Evolution of propaganda techniques. The techniques and strategies employed during World War II laid the groundwork for modern propaganda and information warfare. Lessons learned from wartime propaganda continue to inform contemporary communication strategies. Conclusion. The role of propaganda during World War II was pivotal in shaping public perceptions, fostering national unity, and influencing the course of the conflict. Governments recognized the power of information as a weapon, deploying propaganda across various mediums to rally support, demonize the enemy, and control the narrative. The impact of wartime propaganda resonated far beyond the war itself, leaving a lasting imprint on the way nations communicate and manipulate information in times of conflict and crisis.